Hello, fellow fragrance lovers. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I am very excited to bring you my top 10 summer fragrances for 2021. Now, I know I had done a favorite beachy and tropical fragrance video just a few weeks ago, and those are all still amazing, and I'm sure I'll be wearing some of those as well. I do have a couple crossovers in this one, but the point of this one was to feature some more new releases and maybe some perfumes that aren't typically mentioned in summer fragrance videos, but they're just what I am really into, and I want to kind of put a different spin on my summer fragrances this year, go a little bit bolder, and not always, the stereotypical coconutty beachy scent. There is a little bit of that in here, but I also have some different options for you that might set you apart from everybody else at the beach or the pool and things like that, but they're still summer appropriate. So I'm just going to get right into it. Before I start though, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and then you'll know when I'm uploading new videos. And thank you for all of your support so far. It is very interesting being a newer YouTuber, so I'm still learning the ropes. I'm almost on my summer vacation though, because I am a teacher. So I figure that's when I will learn how to edit a little better and all of that good stuff. So let's get started though with the fragrances. And the other thing about this video is I wanted newer fragrances that maybe you haven't seen videos on yet, or there aren't too many yet. All of these are within the past 3 years. I think the oldest ones are from 2018. So they're newer and a little bit more, contemporary. My beachy and tropical fragrance video had some kind of more old school choices in there. Old school, like, Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. That's what I mean by old school, but you know what I mean. So this one has some newer ones, and even if they did come out a couple of years ago, a lot of these are still being talked about a lot. So they're newer ones. Maybe you don't know about them yet. I'm hoping that I'm going to help you to find something fabulous to wear this summer. So I'm just going to stop talking about all that. Okay, so the first one is Versace Dylan Turquoise. And I have seen people talk about this. I'm going to be honest. I got this basically for the bottle before I even knew what it smelled like. It was a blind buy, which I don't normally do, but it's just, oh my gosh, it's so fabulous. The color combo, it looks so pretty. I didn't really even care what it smelled like. And I was very skeptical because reading the notes, it didn't seem like the type of fragrance that I'm really into, because I don't typically like the fresher, citrusy type of fragrances. That is not my vibe at all. I am into smoky, woodsy, masculine, like tobacco. But I thought, you know what? I had to have an intervention with myself. I did. I reached a point, I guess it was like in March, like right when this was first being advertised. I said to myself, do I want to smell like a cigar all the time, even in the summer? Because that might be off-putting to people around me, that I'm always smelling spicy and woodsy and like a cigar. So I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and wear some things that are a little lighter, a little more summery. So this is it. Okay, so Versace Dylan Turquoise. By the way, it's a flanker of Dylan Blue, but to me, it has no DNA from that at all, if you're familiar with it. I don't have that one. I'm not super crazy about it, but this doesn't smell like it really whatsoever. But anyway, top notes in this one are mandarin, primo fiori lemon, and pink pepper. The mid notes are blackcurrant, jasmine, freesia, and guava. And then the base is cedar, musk, and clearwood, which I think is one of their invented notes. Like they have a trademark of this clearwood note. So I actually ended up really liking this. It is citrusy. It definitely has that very lemony opening, but what I like about it is in the dry down, you do get, You know, you get the jasmine, which I love jasmine in anything, but you get those woodsier notes. So it has some depth to it. It's not just like, you know, this light, airy, lemony, you know, splash, spritzer, or whatever you want to call it, like some of those other citrus perfumes are, where it disappears and it doesn't have any oomph behind it. This is kind of the best of both worlds because it is citrusy, but it has some oomph to it. And let me tell you, you can smell this. So the first time I sprayed this on, like I put this on to wear, I think I choked out like everybody around me because I assumed because it was a citrusy perfume that I needed to overspray and it was going to be light. It is not light. Like, you will smell, people will smell you coming. So it's really, really nice. So if you want a really, like, a clean and citrusy fragrance, but that also has some woodsiness behind it and also, like, will make an entrance, you know, when you walk in the room, definitely go with Versace Dylan Turquoise. Just came out in 2020. Okay, the next fragrance I did mention in my beachy tropical fragrance video, and I had just had a sample of it, and I did end up getting it because QVC actually had a really good deal on this. It was this and the Rollerball together for, I think, the same price as this, and it was on Easy Pay and all of that, you know how that goes. So I really like this one because it's very similar to Bobbi Brown Beach in that it is sunscreeny, but you get a little more of the floral notes in this one than you do in that. So it's not as sunscreeny, but it is very, gotta smell it again. Oh my gosh, it's so summery and beachy, pool, all of that. So top notes in this one are neroli, magnolia, and Sicilian bergamot. The mid notes are coconut milk, lily of the valley, and damask rose. And those really come through and they're really, really pretty. I'm not always big into florals, but those are very nice in this fragrance. And then the base is musk, amber, and vanilla. Now, I'm always about musk, amber, and vanilla. I mean, basically any perfume that I like has musk, amber, and vanilla in it. So this one is just a really, it's light. It's definitely not a heavy scent. The Ellis brand is Ellis Brooklyn is a clean brand. So that's always a good thing. So again, this is Ellis Brooklyn Fawn. It's a good one. All right, next. This is going to seem maybe strange, but we're going to go for it. And this is a very polarizing scent. If you've read reviews of this, it's kind of all over the place. And I was a little bit scared by that, but then I got a sample of this and I thought, oh, okay, I can finally try this, see what everyone's arguing about. It is Tom Ford, and that's basically my favorite fragrance house. So this is Lost Cherry, okay? And this is not new, it's new-ish, but a lot of people have been talking about it because of Bitter Peach. I feel like every time people talk about Bitter Peach, they somehow mention Lost Cherry. I'm not really sure why. But this, so first off, I have, of course, again, the travel size, not just because of the price point, because the full bottle is quite expensive, but this is something that you definitely have to be in the mood for. I don't see myself wearing this as a signature fragrance or all the time, but it is, to me, very addictive. I love the smell of cherries. So I would definitely use this at night. On a summer night, I think this will be really, really intoxicating, and you're just not going to smell like anybody else around. I don't think anyone else is going to be wearing this at your summer parties at night. So this is very complex too. So it doesn't just smell, to me, it doesn't smell like straight up cherry. It almost smells like those cherry cigars. I know, here I am saying I don't want to smell like a cigar, and I'm like, this smells just like a cherry cigar, but it does smell like one of those like cherry cigars that you get at, like the convenience store. So the top notes are sour cherry, bitter almond, and liquor. I mean, that's good. And then the mid notes are sour cherry, plum, Turkish rose, and jasmine sambac. And the base is tonka bean, vanilla, Peru balsam, sandalwood, cedar, cloves, vetiver, patchouli, cinnamon, and benzoin. So it has quite a bit of complexity. So if you don't want to smell like all the other gals around and you want to smell like a delicious cherry a cigar, I mean, that's kind of what it smells like to me. Tom Ford Lost Cherry. I'm definitely going to be wearing this in the evenings. All right, I have two fragrances here from one of my favorite brands, and they're both pretty new. They came out with two in a row, and I'm very excited about it. So I'm going to talk about, I guess, first one is Cheirosa 71 Sol de Janeiro. I love the, the little years, but then I get the years confused. I'm like, there's 62, 71, But this one is Brazilian Crush Cheirosa 71. And I am a huge fan of the original Brazilian Crush and the 62. Yeah, it's the 62, right? And, that's fabulous. But this is also fabulous and just very gourmand, very delicious and yummy. So this one, and it just came out in 2020, late 2020. So this is caramel, macadamia, white chocolate, vanilla, coconut nectar, and sea salt. So it's a little bit different than other beachy fragrances, but in the heat, and if you want to smell really yummy and you're into gourmands, I think this is going to be great. What I really like about these sprays is that, first off, they're very strong. The Sol de Janeiro body sprays are much, much more potent than like a Victoria's Secret or Bath & Body Works body spray. They have some oomph to them, and they really do last a long time. And, I wear them to the pool a lot, and even when I'm in and out of the water, I can still smell them. Like, they don't just disappear or wash off. And they're obviously affordable, so I really like that as well. So this one, I'm really looking forward to wearing because I actually haven't really given it a full wear test yet, but it is really caramely and just gourmand. It's straight up gourmand. Now the other new one, this is brand new. This one is the Brazilian Crush Cheirosa 40. So this is new. And this one has at the top black amber plum, creme de cassis. The mid notes are jasmine blooms and Brazilian orchid. And then the base is vanilla woods and warm musk. So this one is very different than the other ones because, there are a couple of them now. And and I actually sprayed some on earlier. See how that's doing. But it has that plum note, which is a little bit different. So again, you're not going to smell like everybody else in the summertime. And it's also very ambery. And it's just really lovely. So I think these two sprays are going to be my go-tos for the pool this summer. And I know I'm going to wear them quite a bit. All right, the next fragrance that I'll be wearing this summer, this is like, I have feelings about this. Okay, so this is Narciso Rodriguez Ambre, and I love Narciso Rodriguez fragrances. They're a little bit out of my range, like as in they're very sophisticated and almost they're clean. They're very classy. They're not super deep or anything, but they still have it's really hard to explain. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but they're like classic, clean, very sensual skin scent-ish, but I don't know. I just really like them. They all have this like musky base. Narciso Rodriguez just does this great musk, this very like clean musk, and it runs through pretty much all of the flankers and everything. And I have several of them. I just really like them. So I heard people talking about this one, and the reviews are so mixed, this Ambree. I read a bunch of reviews. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and there were so many people, like some people really liked it, and I would watch videos where the way people described it, I thought, oh, I am going to be all about that. That sounds perfect. But then I'd see ones that are like, oh, this is trash. So I really didn't know what to do, and it's hard to get a hold of. I forget where I finally, I guess it was Fragrance Net, but there weren't many places. Like Sephora, I think had it when it first came out, but they don't anymore. So I figured I'm going to have to really, I'm going to have to act now if I want to get this. So I got this little bottle, but now I'm kind of sorry that I didn't get the bigger one because I absolutely adore this fragrance. It is so good. And oh my God, it's so vacation, paradise, tropical, getaway, and all of those vibes. So this one has top notes of frangipani, lang lang, and white flowers, mid notes of musk and amber, and the base is cashmere, vanilla, and cedar. This is just so lovely, and it's just tropical. That's really the best way I can describe it. It is super tropical, but different from other tropical fragrances. And I don't smell people walking around smelling like this. And again, that's one of the points of this video is smell a little bit different from everybody else. So if you're able to get a hold of this, and you like really tropical fragrances, I think you're going to like it. Okay, the next fragrance, I don't hear anybody ever talking about these at all. I've never heard one person talk about them. And there is another one from this line called Lodge that I discovered last winter that I am completely obsessed with. It is one of my favorite perfumes. And unfortunately, they just come in these very small containers, and I've already bought backups of that one, and I've gone through 1.5 of them so far. But this is the Free People 1809 collection in Surf. I feel like this is a hidden gem. I'm probably the first person to tell you about this. Am I not? Free People 1809? No one else on YouTube talking about it? Maybe there is. I don't know. I didn't actually look. But, so this is called Surf. Top notes in this one are Italian lemon, almond, and melon. Mid notes of jasmine sambac, Madagascar, lang lang, and Tahitian coconut. And the base notes are vanilla absolute and Brazilian tonka bean. Now, this is a clean fragrance with all natural ingredients. So that's another thing that I really love. And they're very affordable. I think these are $28. So not terrible for a clean fragrance whatsoever. This is, it's another really beachy fragrance. It is a little bit sunscreeny, but I don't know. But there's something different about it from the other sunscreeny fragrances. And maybe it is because it's more natural. It has that little bit of the lemon and the almond and some melon in it, which those aren't typically in the other beachy type perfumes. So I love that one. It is Free People, the 1809 collection in Surf. All right. You're probably sick of hearing about this. Is one that I mentioned in my other video, and you're probably sick of everybody in the fragrance community talking about this. Also kind of polarizing. A lot of people hate this. I happen to love it, and it is brand new. And I'm going to give it more love. I'm just going to keep talking about this because I don't care what anyone says. This is a masterpiece, okay? I love this. Because look at the bottle alone. It's amazing. So, of course, I'm talking about La Vie Belle Soleil Cristal. Brand new flanker to La Vie Belle, which I also love. But let's face it, everybody wears that, and it's just getting worn out. Now, it might get to the point where everyone's wearing this summer, but it's okay. I also love this because it is bold. If you want to make an entrance, you will if you're wearing this. So top notes are pink pepper, mandarin orange, and bergamot. The mid notes are ylang ylang, iris, orange blossom, and jasmine. And then the base is coconut, vanilla, and that patchouli, of course, which is the part of the DNA of original Vie Belle, and it runs throughout many of the flankers. So this one is, again, it's just so tropical, but what I love about it is that it has that patchouli to really ground it. So it's, to me, a little bit more mature than just a regular, again, this isn't like a, body spritzer that you would get at Bath & Body Works. This is, and again, I'm not knocking those sprays from Bath & Body Works. I love a lot of them, but this is like, if you want to be a little bit, a little more sophisticated, and if you want something that lasts, this lasts forever. Like, to the point where you will smell it. Like, if you don't take a shower, you will smell it the next day on yourself and your clothes. So be forewarned. Make sure that you like it before you spray too much of it. All right, the next fragrance I'm going to talk about, we're almost done. I promise. Thank you for sticking around this long. So this one is maybe unexpected. And this is the Twilly de Hermes Au Poivree. I don't know how you say it. Au Poivree, right? I don't speak French, but all I can say is this is so freaking good. And this is so different and unique. And this is probably my most sniffed perfume. I know that sounds weird, but I keep it in my hallway, like on a little dresser thing. And I swear, like, almost every time I walk by, I just like grab it and smell it. I know, that's weird, right? Now, this is just top note is pink pepper, mid note of rose, and base of patchouli. So it doesn't sound very exciting. And it's not particularly complex, but there's something about the way it's blended. It's just addictive to me, and it is so peppery. It reminds me a little bit, I mean, it's not completely the same at all, but the vibe reminds me of when Isabella Rossellini had that perfume Manifesto in like early 2000s, and it was a pepper, like a very peppery fragrance. It also had basil in it, I believe, and it was so weird. Like, I loved it. I wore it all the time because it was so different and weird, and people were either like, oh, what is that? Or they were like, what is that? It was very, again, kind of polarizing. This, I don't think, is to that point, but it's definitely not for everyone, but it's just so peppery and good. But that rose note in it, and the thing is, it's not heavy. Like, I guess you could wear this in fall and winter and be fine, but something about it in the heat smells really good, but different. And again, you're not going to smell like anybody else. So I love that about it. So that was Twilly Au Poivree, or however you say it. I don't know. Okay. So the last fragrance in my top 10 fragrances for summer of 2021 is Hollister Festival Vibes. Now, I know some people bust on Hollister perfumes or like any kind of store perfumes. I just don't like that because I think Hollister actually makes some really nice fragrances. There was one that I was a diehard fan of. It was called August. It was, I think, like 2005-ish. It was discontinued, very sadly, and it was so ahead of its time. It was so unisex, and I don't know, there was like nothing else that smelled like it. Well, I did some research because I just couldn't help but wonder, like, whatever happened? Like, what's going on with this fragrance? There are legit like groups out there with petitions going like to bring that fragrance back because it had a cult following. And I hope that happens because it was amazing. This one doesn't smell really anything like it. Actually, I sprayed it a little earlier. So festival vibes, top notes are goji berries, quince, and bergamot. The mid notes are vanilla orchid, pink peony, osmanthus, and hibiscus. And base notes are tonka bean, cashmere wood, and musk. So again, it's a little different from the other summer fragrances because You know, it does have a nice fruity opening. You do get a lot of the goji berry in there, and of course the bergamot. But you do in the dry down get a lot of woodsiness from this. And I don't know, it's called festival vibes, I guess, because if you're at a festival, maybe you're outside in the woods or wherever the festival is, outdoors, you know, it is a nice mix of like the fruitiness and the woodsiness, and it has a little substance behind it because of the musk and the tonka bean and everything. But I also get a lot of orchid from this. So, and it's not, you know, a lot of times I guess the Hollister perfumes are a little younger, although I hate like assigning ages to fragrances, but they have a more youthful vibe. You could see teenagers wearing them. This one is definitely a little more mature, a little more sophisticated. It might actually be a little too woody for, you know, younger teen girls, but I really like it. It's different, and it's just, I don't know, an option that maybe not everyone is going to be wearing in the summer of 2021. All right, well, I think I've tormented you long enough, but those are my top 10 fragrances that I will be wearing in the summer of 2021. And again, I think this is the summer, after everything we've been through, to be bold, to stand out, to do your thing, really. And I wanted to share some maybe different fragrances with you that will make you stand out. But again, all those other ones in my beachy and tropical video, I love those so much as well. And I'm sure I will be rotating them in, you know, of course, I love fragrances, so of course I am. Anyway, thank you again for supporting my channel, and please, please, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.